Okay, so this is a video for my friend Josie, because she's jealous of my cooking prowess. I'm going to show a step-by-step instructional video of how I make my Dutch apple pie. It's super easy. Anybody can do it. And we're going to start off first with what you need to have your oven set at. You want your rack. You want to have your rack on the center, like dead center, and you're going to want to have the oven at 350. I know everybody else is like, oh, I bake my pies at 400. Don't bake your pies at 400. Bake your pies at 350. I can't stress that enough. If you get too hot, you start to cook everything too fast, and it doesn't have time to set up and get good flavor going. So that's usually the first problem. And for this amazing, wonderful pie, you're going to need the biggest bowl you can find, which I have this gigantic mixing bowl. Here's my apple. The other ingredients you need will be wonderful flour, wonderful brown sugar, dark brown sugar. Light brown sugar is okay, it's not the best. Always go with the dark. Another thing you're going to need is, if you're only making one pie, you need a cup, or not a cup. You need a whole and a quarter. So 1.5. I always freeze the one you're going to cut. Freeze makes cutting it so much easier. Like, you can cut a refrigerated one, but it's not going to cut as nice as if it was frozen. You're also going to need, actually only need like 3 measuring cups. You need a cup and then a half a cup. Because the half a cup, you actually need, a half a cup of quick oats. Not regular oatmeal, quick oats. If you do quick oats, you're screwed. So good luck with that. See how easy that cut? I usually put the other half in a bowl, and I use it on my toast, but not eating a whole lot of toast these days. So there's that. Now, I'm going to get out my fancy measuring cups. Here, oh, okay, I got my measuring cup. You will make a mess, I guarantee it. Let's see. A lot of people like to sift their flour and stuff together. I don't like sifting. I got one of these things. If you don't have one of these, go get one. They're amazing. This thing is super versatile. I use it to mash up potatoes. Anytime I'm making dough, I use one. You can find them at any cooking store. You have to melt your butter. Don't soften it, melt it. That's another thing. Since we're not making dough, you melt the butter. If you're making it like, if you're making a butter crust, you cube it. You freeze it super hard, and then you cube it, and you drop it in a little bit at a time. But we're not doing that. So we're going to melt it. Now, 1 cup brown sugar packed, which means it should come out looking like that. A lot of people that eat Dutch apple pie don't realize that Dutch apple pie is the same thing as kind of like an apple strudel. Apple strudel has, you know, that nice brown sugary flaky crumb stuff on the top. Well, here's the secret. Dutch apple pie is that all over. So there's this huge debate on which pie is the best, and a lot of people they don't like apple pie. They like apple strudel or streusel. But you make a Dutch apple pie, you're getting a crust, and you're also getting that nice flaky stuff on the top. Two cups of flour. So far, pretty easy, right? Except for closing flour. This is a 10-pound bag. It's kind of dumb. I make a lot of bread too. I don't make as much free-form bread as I used to. But let me tell you what, if you want to make a free-form bread, pesto bread, that's the way to go. Half a cup of that, which is our quick oats. Now, oh yeah. Now for disgusting animal fat. It's okay if you get a little chunk in there, like it didn't all the way melt out. That's okay, because you're about to mash it up and it's going to be fairly soft. Make sure you get as much butter out as you can. And when I first learned how to make this, everybody was telling me, oh, you got to do it this certain way when you mix it. No, you don't. Just mash the hell out of it. Mix it up all nice. And then a lot of people tell you, usually I mash this up first, so it's all mixed together before I put the butter in, but I'm not doing that. They'll tell you to take a cup of the stuff out and set it aside for your topping. Screw that. We're putting this thing in like a 9-inch pie pan. You know how much topping a cup is? Not a lot. So once you get it all matched up, it should look like this all over, or close to that, when it's completely done. I take my pie crust, once it's completely finished, and I put it in my pie pan. Which I'm all fancy and I've got a glass one. And this is a Pyrex 24 centimeter pie pan for oven and microwave.
Another thing you can do with this exact same recipe is I make a thing I call them little Josies, because my friend Josie's like almost a foot shorter than me. It's pretty much I take this, which is my apple pie filling, which came from the apples that grow in my front and backyard. I made it and canned it. I take that and I use this thing and I mince it, kind of like mincemeat, so that I can fit more of it in. And then I make a double batch of this. Get it all mushed up nice like this. That's what it looks like. Get it all mushed up nice, and then I put it in a cupcake tin. And you don't need to spray the cupcake tin or put little cupcake holder things in it, because let me tell you, with the butter in this thing, yeah, completely unnecessary. When they're done, you just take a spatula, and they pop right out when they're cool. They're about that tall when you're done. But you have to do a double batch because you got to stretch it so much. I mean, so much, damn. Tarts. Little apple tarts are really good. So this is what you do. Big handfuls of it in the pie tin. You flatten it down. Take this off. Flatten it down. You don't want to pack it super tight. I mean, you can if you want to, but it's going to make the crust really, really crunchy. And I don't know about you, but I don't like feeling like I'm biting into a burnt-ass oatmeal cookie when I'm eating my pie. I like to do it a little thin. Sometimes you'll have to put down a little bit more to fill in the cracks that you make when you're flattening it out. So what they tell you to do when you look at any recipe is it says throw it all down, mash it up, and then build a wall. No. Throw it down enough to cover the bottom. What I do is I spread it around the edge. Like this. With good sizes. Good size handfuls when you're doing this. Because you're going to push it all the way up. Both hands and press it out. Now there's the pie crust, which if you cut it too soon after it's done baking, it'll just fall apart because it's just pressed together by hand. And I don't press very hard because I like it to be a little flaky. When I'm eating a Dutch apple pie, I don't want the perfect slice like you get with a buttercrust pie. I like that shit to just... Well, look at how much stuff I have left over for the top. That's way more than a cup. And if you're anything like me, you like the crust. To me, it's the best part. This sounds so gross. Sounds like somebody snorting snot back into their nose. And then they look at you and smile. That's the image I get. Let's hear that. Which is not a pleasant noise. So that was 2 pint jars. Usually you need a quart for something this big, but I don't have any quart jars left. And this is going to be a caramel vanilla because those are the 2 flavors of the goo. If you go and get the soft caramels from like the store, you can put it in there. Like, you know, you just chop them up and sprinkle them on there, like on the bottom and on the top before you put the crust on. Melts together, it makes it really good. But don't get that caramel stuff. It's kind of crap. It melts, but as soon as it starts to cool, it gets like rock hard, and it's like eating little rocks. There you go. Make sure you get plenty of it around the edges. That's where the apple likes to peek through. As you spread it too thin, it just like gets sucked up. And that's no good. Now, throw this bad looking pie, throw it in the oven for 40 minutes. So, I'll see you in 40 minutes. And 40 minutes later, pie.